Hey everyone, I'm back. So, yeah, last time we spoke, the other day, I was getting really fired up and inviting you to as well. And so, I want to share with you now something that has been an important part of my journey here, and maybe it just may be of yours too. So, I'm going to fast backward. That's a possibility. I know we fast forward. I'm fasting backward. I'm rewinding about 12 years now. And I was on a bit of a shamanic journey with some Native American elders, and into literally the fire. It was a fire ceremony, actually, so we get to conjure that back up from the other day. And basically, after the full ceremony was over, the elder rubbed some kind of essential oil or something on the back of my neck and told me I'd have some powerful dreams that night. In fact, it was the last full moon in the year 2000. So, which technically was the end of the last millennium. Okay, so December 2000, full moon, whatever day that was, in Sedona, Arizona. Anyway, I have this dream that night that I'm a little boy walking with a boy that's actually a little smaller than me down a rather dark alleyway. And I was trailed by a man and a woman. And all of a sudden, the man turns to the woman, strangles her dead, and comes after me. And I kick off the sheet screaming. Okay? And then, in a completely lucid and awake state, I start asking questions of this dream. Who are the players? What does it mean? And everything else. And as I asked these yes-no questions, it was like somebody was playing, it was beyond goosebumps. It was like somebody was playing like the marimba with my rib cage. And every time that I got a question with a yes answer, it was like boom, 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 all the way down my ribs. Called actually the scales of truth is how I heard it as to what that experience was. And so I started asking these questions. Who is this guy? Is this guy my father? Yes. Boom. Feel it in my bones. And is this woman my mother? Yes. Okay. I started asking all these questions, and the whole story kind of unfolded that somehow, possibly back in Atlantis, and maybe you were there, who knows, that my mother was questioning and actually challenging, and correctly so, accusing my father of violating the act of sacred touch, when in fact he was a high priest, and somehow sacred touch was permissible and actually healing in those days, but if it wasn't done in absolute purity and honesty and truthfulness, then it could actually be destructive. And it turns out that maybe some of his actions were helped to really kind of take down the civilization that was otherwise rather peaceful and enlightened. And so he strangles her dead, he comes after me, and I don't say anything as a young man, out of the boy actually, out of both fear and love of my father. And then as I kind of fast forward, or what does this mean, and what happened, it turns out that as I ask these questions and get the marimba beat going down my ribs, that I was ultimately put to death for committing the sin of omission. The sin of omission for not speaking the truth as I knew it, in the moment that I knew it. And my withholding of the truth and suppressing of the truth helped to cause the downfall of that civilization. Okay? Well, just so you know, to fast forward the whole story, to the next day, I share that with the elder, the shamanic elder who was of Native American descent. And somehow, he says, after I share that story, guess what? You've got an ally with you, an unseen ally. And he starts channeling this unseen ally, which amazingly is a little old man from the old country with a kind of Jewish voice. And he says something like this. Oi! We all murdered. We all got murdered. We all abused. We all got abused. We all violated. We all got violated. It all happened for a reason. We all had roles to play. And it all happened for this very moment now, so that you have the knowledge of all of the history of mankind, from all of the evil to all of the good. You can make the choices. And by the way, live a little. Take the ball and run with it. You're so serious. Hey, enjoy yourself. Have some fun. Okay. We're back now to the present moment. And being mindful of not replaying that sin of omission, I'd like to share with you some of what I know in my heart to be true. And that is that there is something infinite going on here. Whether you call it God, whether you call it spirit, whether you call it the universe or the unified field of infinite potential, there is something here energetically that is reaching out beyond the universe, continuing to grow and move beyond our mind's full capability to even understand. But one thing it absolutely does mean is this. Whatever it is that we could conjure up to be infinite, we know that we're a part of it, whoever you and I are. Because if we're not, then it ain't infinite. And I'm sorry, it's really that simple. It really is. So if we are really these aspects of something infinite, isn't that in fact a game changer? Doesn't this mean that for a limited time only, while we're on these skin and bones in this place that could appear to be heavenly, it could be an absolute paradise and a playground to be in? What if we actually were able to rest and just embrace this simple, ultimate truth as being our essence, as being our reality? We may not know what lies beyond this dimension and perhaps after death, where our bodies and vibrations and consciousness could possibly go. Is it going to go to a place where we're going to hear harps and see wings flying around and all the rest and eat chocolate to our heart's content and not gain a pound? I don't know. My sense is it may not have as much stimulation. It may be this very high vibration that may feel absolutely like the RIP, the rest in peace, but it may actually have a very little variability, and at some point may actually be not quite as interesting as what we have this opportunity to experience and create right now. Our lives, humanity, okay? And on some profound level, this really is like a movie that we're all playing roles in, and yet we also get to be the director as well as the star of the show. And I'm really inviting in, for me, I have absolute certainty about this, not to impose it on you by inviting you in to co-create this with me, that it's really a romantic comedy with some adventure, where we get to have some fun and some laughs, and maybe we don't take ourselves so seriously all the time. And we get to help each other and live happily ever after and have sequels and prequels and all kinds of fun and permutations and combinations of what happiness and joy could possibly look like that could be absolutely hysterical, that may actually make Austin Powers blush. And it could still be a great time. It could still be a great, amazing time, and every bit as relevant and every bit as true as whatever other kind of emotional roller coaster or dramatic life series we seem to have created and be living in or born into so far. So I'm doing my best to erase myself of that sin of omission and letting go into sharing what I know in my heart to be true. And I've been very blessed by the woman holding this camera, Colette, here, to not settle for anything less. And so that's what I'm really offering up to you, and for you not to settle for anything less. Because one of the things I've noticed is we get what we settle for. We get what we settle for. So I'm settling for joy. I'm settling for happiness. I'm settling for a place of peace and fun and connection and love and play and enjoying this human meat suit of ours that we've been so graced with for this limited time to play in. And I'm inviting you to do the same. So that's about it for now. And I know you'll hear again from me soon. So lots of love. Enjoy the moment.